What's going on, peoples? This is Fawns. I'm the chief lab tech at Method Lab Design Studios. That's my little business here that I'm trying to start up. I do graphic design, t-shirt printing, airbrush, also jewelry and fine arts as well. Today I want to make a video to show you how to stretch a canvas out, art canvas, and just to show you how easy it is and how fast it is. It's also pretty cost effective. Most canvases come pre-stretched that you buy, and they are kind of pricey once you get to a certain size. So basically what I do is I stretch out my own canvases just to save money, and they're pretty easy. So first I want to show you the tools I use. Back here is a compound miter saw, kind of a must-have. Makes your wood cuts extremely fast and accurate and even. Also right here, Ryobi brad nailer. Basically what it is a nail gun. I use also a staple gun, JT21 staples, the 1/4 inch staples. And I'll show you pretty much, it's pretty easy. These tools cost a little bit of money. You don't need a compound one or one as big as this one is. And it's like a sliding miter saw as well. You don't need that. You can get a little cheap one just for your, if you're just doing it just for canvases, you can probably get one for 50, 60, maybe 70 bucks. And also the brad nailer as well. Keep your costs down as far as being able to do these screens pretty fast. So I would purchase one. I think they're like maybe 140, 150. 160. And again, you don't have to buy the brands that I'm mentioning, but I like these brands. So basically, I'm not doing anything from any particular size. I'm just basically just making one up real quick here. So first we will cut the wood. This is one piece. This is from Home Depot. This is pine. And I find that the pine is kind of a little bit straighter, doesn't warp as much as the other wood. So I think I want to go maybe 3 feet by maybe 16 or 17 inches. So again, not anything specific, just want to make a bigger one. So measure tape. About 3 feet. Make a little mark. It's kind of nice when you have the saw that has a little light as a guide. So basically you can saw right where you want it to go. You can see it on the wood. There's a little light, makes a little shadow where the blade is. So real quick cut. Sometimes instead of measuring both, I'll just hold one piece of wood up against the other one and make a pencil mark so they're both the same size. So we have 2 3-foot pieces, and let's see. Go about, let's say 16 inches on the side. Little tick mark, 16-inch mark. Same thing for the other piece of side wood. Always best to use some type of glasses or goggles, because that wood can come up and catch you in the eye. Brad nailer, I love this tool. Very easy to use. All you do basically is drop in your nails. Let it slide up. Typically just gotta eyeball it, hold it up by hand. We gotta be careful with your fingers just in case you mess around and the nail goes through. So pretty basic. Line it up. Little button that you push to catch the light on. Set it up here. Usually I do 3. Every once in a while the nail doesn't go all the way in, so I just tap it in. Hammer. Second piece. And there's a little button, a little light guide. Push it down. 1, 2, 3. Sticking up a little bit, so tap them. Top. Try to line it up as close as possible. 3 stripes. And tap them. And the last side here. Quick tap. Boom. Square frame. Next, get the canvas. What I do is typically take the canvas on one side, close to the edge. You want to leave maybe about 4 inches or so on each side, because the canvas is actually going to wrap around a little bit. At least that's the way I do it. Find it a little bit easier and neater. Some scissors. This part here doesn't have to be too specific or accurate. It's better to cut a little bit too much than not enough. You'll waste your canvas. I buy my canvas basically. You can get it at any art supply store, or you can get it at Walmart as well. They sell it with their sewing materials. There's different thicknesses and different colors. Some of the canvas isn't specifically art canvas. It's just basically canvas. This right here is kind of thick. I actually like the thinner canvas because it kind of almost stretches a little bit. Makes it easier to stretch on the frame. All right. Pretty easy. Now, I usually staple it from the back. Do one corner, and then usually go all the way over to the next corner and pull it and stretch. Staple. Again, this is a JT21 staple gun. JT21 staples, 1/4 inch. If you make them any bigger, the staple won't go into the wood. It'll stick out a little bit. Staple across. Different people may have different techniques. This is basically my technique. Flip it over. One important part, you want to stretch it, but you don't want to stretch it too hard, because what it'll do is it'll warp the canvas in, and in the middle it'll be a little bit squeezed in. So you want to pull it just slightly, just enough to keep the canvas tight from the bottom. Again, I'm not really pulling it too hard. I'm pulling it just tight enough to take the slack out the canvas. Do the top. And you want to flip whatever side you're going to do. Try to do them both the same. So I want to flip this over. And the same over here. Flip it over. Pull it snug, staple. Side. Again, you want to flip it. And out of staples. Quick reload on the staples. They pop it. All you do is pull out the little tensioner thing here. Throw a row in. Alrighty, ready for business. Again, basically very easy, very simple. there we have canvas. Now, if you notice, there's a little slack in it. Sometimes what you can do is you find it having a little bit too much slack, you can pull the staples out and redo it. But once you paint it with gesso, this will tighten out any little bit of slack. So, but if it's too much slack, like you should be, almost sound like a drum when you hit it. There's a couple wrinkles in there because it was the canvas was all folded up. The last step here is trimming off the excess. Go right to the back here. I usually start in the middle. And it basically, it's best to use a very sharp razor. It makes it a lot easier to do. Run it all the way to the side. Just pull it down a little bit. Just run directly above the inside part of the wood. But be careful not to cut your other side of the canvas. Then start from the middle, go right below the wood. And canvas is folded up here towards the end, so you kind of got to saw through the canvas a little bit once you get towards the end because it's kind of folded, got a couple flaps here. Again, if you use a sharp blade, you won't have any problems with it. And start from the middle. Right below the wood. Cut straight across. Saw through the little folds here. Pull that bottom piece there, it'll go right across, almost like a knife through butter. Again, cut through there. Start in the middle. Saw through the excess. And boom, there you go. Stretch canvas. And again, once we coat this with gesso, those little wrinkles want to come out. Very easy, very simple. Only took me 18 minutes to do. If I wasn't trying to tape it and explain things, probably only be 15 minutes. But again, cost effective. We probably just spent $10 or $11 for this canvas. I'm quite sure it probably cost a lot more if I bought it from Hobby Lobby or so, but that's how to stretch out a canvas. The next step would be to coat it with gesso. So basically you'll have a white coating of paint on it. And from there to your artwork, I will do that in the next video.